welcome back. My name is Lynn Wilson and welcome to my home. I am here to bring you some great news today. Actually, a couple of things of good news. And I want you to be encouraged and to know you can do this. We can do this together. I've learned some tips and tricks. You guys have shared so many great tips and tricks in the comments. So if you're not reading the comments under my videos, you got to go back and read them. Everybody's got great tips of where they shop or when they shop, what they do or how they can or all kinds of stuff. The tips and the comments have been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I have a lot of new subscribers. I can't believe I'm a little channel and I'm growing. I'm so excited that I can be here, share with you all, make friends with you all. So I've got 3 things I want to share with you today. One is a new postcard that some of you will be receiving in the mail shortly. Number 2 is a gift I received a few days ago, and I haven't had a chance to share that with you all. And I said in the beginning of the year, one of the things I want to do is give more shout outs and more thank yous and just be more grateful for every little thing that comes my way. And I'm going to do that today. And then we're going to talk about just some basic everyday money saving tips when it comes to food. Things that you go, duh, why didn't I think of that? That type of thing. So the first thing is I got myself a new postcard. Look at this. Woo woo. There's me and Graham. There's me and the kids. There's me and the hubby there. And then, yes, of course, we have our Kip. So At Home with Lynn Wilson. And then it is a postcard. So it tells you different places on Facebook where you can find me, on YouTube and on Instagram and Twitter. And the only thing we forgot to put on here was Pinterest. So Pinterest is also something. My podcast title is here, my email is here, and my blog is on here, all on here. So some of you will be receiving this in the mail. Some of you have sent me cards and letters and all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to be able to send this to you in the mail and say thank you. So you might be getting one of these in the mail. So there you go. I'm so excited. I just spoke, maybe 3 weeks ago at a big conference, and I was able to give that out to the ladies that wanted to connect with me. So that was great. So Barbara, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your last name, but I got a package in the mail that I am so excited about. And let me pull these things out. Okay, I just wanted to read a quick snippet. She says, Lynn, I can't regularly trade planner supplies, but I did want to share some of what you have with you. Barbara, you are a gem. I sat down, I actually took this to work, and I showed my coworker who's into planning like me. And like, you were so cool. You were just too cool. And look at this, all kinds of little stickers. These will fit my planner perfectly. They're just the coolest. I know those of you that aren't into planner stuff are going to be bored. Look at that, random acts of kindness. That's exactly what Barbara did. I love these. So I can actually, when I put these like stickers like this in my planner, it is a note to self to get it done. Look at this. Look. Just stickers upon stickers upon stickers upon stickers. Barbara, ooh, I'm dropping them all over the floor. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I said to my husband tonight, I can't believe you went out of your way to send me all of these stickers. I mean, you sent me a lot of stickers. I promise to put them to good use. But most of all, I'm just blown away that you thought that much of me, that I mentioned something and like that you thought of me. I don't know. I just, I've made so many cool friends on YouTube. People I might not ever meet. People that I hope to someday meet. And I don't think I'm that special. Like, to me, you made me feel special. Barbara, you made me feel very special. I opened that. It was for me, that you took the time to collect those stickers and to mail it off to me, and that you thought enough of me to do that. It's humbling, and I kind of go, me? She, I don't know. Maybe I'm being silly, but Thank you, Barbara, from the bottom of my heart. I love every sticker on those pages, and they will get to good use in my planner. So that's number 2. And number 3 is we're going to do this, guys. We are going to do this in 22. We're going to get through 22. We're going to be a success in everything that we do. We might have some bumps and bruises along the way. We might have to pick ourselves up and start afresh, but we can do this. So you, me, and whoever else wants to join us are going to do some money-saving tips when it comes to food. Okay, so I had to write this down. I wanted to write this down and make sure that I could think of things. You know when you're a kid and your mom, I don't know, maybe you're different, and your mom would say, now this is a good way to do things, and you'd be like, yeah, right. And I used to like roll my eyes in my head like every other kid would do. And then you get married and you have children and you get older and you're broke and you realize your mother had some great tips. Well, one of the things my mom always did, and I see some other people doing it now, is you get a jar of spaghetti and there's that little bit of sauce left in the jar. She said, don't waste it. Put a little water in there, shake it up, and dump it in the pot and use every little bit that you have. And I'd be like, oh, Mom, do we have to be so cheap? Yes, we do. That little bit of sauce is a couple of tablespoons of sauce that can help spread that, that dish that you're making even that much further. Well, I go a step further now. I not only shake it, but then I take the jar and I turn it upside down. Of course, the lid is on it, upside down. So while I'm making the pasta or heating up the sauce, all that bits are running down to the bottom. And I might only get a little bit more, but I put that in there anyway. And there we go. It's great. You save a little bit of money on that extra sauce that you have to do. Okay, so these are lessons that I'm learning. Okay, one, I rolled my eyes at my mother because I thought she was cheap. And now I'm doing the same thing because how did my father used to say it? Because the Scottish were Scottish. My maiden name is Cameron. So any of my Scottish friends out there, I'm a Cameron. And proud of it. Went to Scotland twice, love it. And my husband is English and Scottish, so we're all, people call the Scottish cheap. And my grandmother and my dad used to say, we're not cheap, we're frugal. And I'm like, what's the difference? You're cheap. And my grandmother said, no, we're frugal. We know how to save money and use our stuff wisely. And she's very true. So here we are using our pasta sauce wisely. Well, another thing that I have to learn, and it's not always easy, but listen, when times are hard, you do what you have to do. Don't be so picky, okay? Don't be so picky. If you go to the grocery store and let's just say label A is $5 a bottle and label B is $3 a bottle and, label C is $1.79, unless the $1.79 is really gross and it's really like you've had it and it's like, ugh, it's disgusting, then go with it. Like there are certain brand names of certain products that I don't like buying cheap bread. I find if I get certain store brands, not all, but some, the bread falls apart like in an instant. So I'd rather spend a little bit more on bread. Obviously, get it on sale or with a coupon or whatever, if I can, because I don't want to buy a loaf of bread that 90% of it fell apart. But on the other hand, the mayonnaise that I use, I don't have to buy the most expensive brand name because I only get brand names. It's okay. But don't always be so picky. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, use up leftovers. It's another thing. I'll give you an example. The other day, if you saw my video last night with the snow, I made chicken and dumplings. And I was like, well, I took the chicken and I had the broth from the chicken and looked in the refrigerator and, what did I have? Well, I had a half a jar of gravy, chicken gravy. I forget. I had made something and I used the gravy. And I had a half a jar. Well, it's the kind of thing like, I'd be like, I'm not going to do a half a jar of gravy. Like, do I freeze it? It's a little. And I thought, you know what? Good flavor. Use it up. So I threw that into the chicken and dumplings and stirred that up with a bunch of other things. And it made a great meal. And here I used up that little bit of gravy that I probably would have thought, we'll throw it out. Don't throw it out. you know, sometimes you kind of look at it and you go, is it really worth freezing this little tiny bit? I get it. I get it. It gets lost in the freezer and this and that and the next thing. But maybe you can make some kind of meal that you're just making in the next day or two when you go, oh, you know what? I'm going to save that. I'm going to add that to it. So that's just a thought. All right. So green onions. Here's something I've been wanting to do for a couple of years now, and I finally did it. So I took a green onion plant. I paid, not a plant, but, you know, green onions with the stems. It was 85 cents, and I got it home. I put it in a jar of water, and for 3 or 4 days, I empty out the water every day, put fresh water in it until they grew some roots. In the meantime, I'm making snippets, and I'm dehydrating the, cutting them up into tiny little pieces and dehydrating the green onion. And now I have nice roots at it. So I've planted it in some dirt and the thing is growing. I have fresh green onions anytime I need it. Now I'm a little weird. I like things dehydrated. I prefer onions dehydrated. I prefer the green onions dehydrated. The flavor and the taste to me is different. I like it better. Who cares? I bought one thing of green onions for 85 cents. And I'm using it over and over and over. I have fresh green onions anytime I need it. Here we just had a blizzard and I've got nice green onions growing in my kitchen. All right, I'm looking at my notes. Let's see if I find anything else that I wrote down. I sat down the other night and I said to my husband, I have these thoughts. I need to share these thoughts. Rotate your stockpile. We talked about this in one of my videos, things I will no longer store in my stockpile. You know what? I got to jump in there and kind of go in a different direction for a moment. So many of you came back and said, I'm embarrassed to say I had to throw food out. I'm embarrassed to say I panic bought. I'm embarrassed to say that I didn't rotate my stockpile. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. There's no judgment here on my channel. If you guys want to be judgy, that's your problem. I don't judge. I have made the same mistakes that you have. I did panic buy. We all did. I don't think there's anybody that didn't go, oh, they said we should buy, so we all run out and bought that thing. Or they said we should get, so we all went out and got that thing. Listen, no judgment here, none of that. We tended to panic buy, or we thought maybe we should stock up because we didn't know. So we bought things that we don't normally buy. All that stuff. I get it. I totally get it. I appreciated you all being honest with me that, hey, I made the same mistake. I had a few people say I was just getting ready to clean out my stockpile. They're so glad they listened to the video. Thank you. You guys gave me great inspiration, great encouragement, and great tips. We're in this together. We're here to learn, to teach each other, and just encourage each other that, you know what? I can do this. This is my kitchen. I can do this. Okay, so the other thing I thought of with that is put like items together. One of the things I found, and you know, you don't even realize, oh, let me put the pancake mix away. And then you go grocery shopping and maybe you got another one and you put it in this cabinet. And then you didn't realize you had two in the stockpile over here. And then next thing you realize, if you were to gather the like items together, you might have a whole lot more cans of tomato soup or cans of tuna or cans of green beans, and because you have them all over the place. So I have now cut it back to two places. I have my overflow pantry stockpile and all like items go together in there. So all my green beans are all together. And in my everyday pantry, I have all like items together. So if I want to look for green beans, they're here. They're not here, here, here. Well, it could be in that cabinet. I might have some over here. I think I put some up in the top cabinet. No. All like items together will keep you more frugal in the sense that you won't be buying as much because you won't say, I don't know if I have enough cans of green beans. Yeah, you do if you had all your like items together. Swap with friends. So what do you mean swap food? Yeah, I have a food network going in my little community. My mom has a friend that gives her food. My mom takes what she can use from the food her friend gives her, and my mom gives me that food. I take what I can use and I fill bags and share it with other people. I have a friend who gets food from another friend, and she then combines food that she gets with that food, and then she brings me what she can't use, and again, I take what I can and I share the rest. you know what? It's a great thing to have a community of people that you can swap things out with. And just say to people, hey, I got a few extra canned goods of this. Can you guys use it? You don't always need to expect anything in the return, but if they might say, well, I've got a can of coffee that I'm not using, yeah, I can use that. And you can learn to swap and share with each other instead of kind of hoarding and hanging on to stuff you're never going to use. Share it with somebody. If nothing else, you've blessed somebody for the day. Don't expect things always in return. Just do things out of the goodness of your heart and share with somebody that maybe needs it. Maybe just, God lays them on your heart and just share with them. But it's great if you can form a community of people to share things with. Another thing is know your prices. Know your prices. I go to many discount stores. I go to a place called Sharps out in Pennsylvania. They're only in PA and Virginia. And we go to a discount grocery store or a discount grocery outlet out in Pennsylvania. There is a new coming to me about 40 minutes from my house in April. I cannot wait. We're going to go check this baby out. And then we go to a place called BB's out in Lancaster area, out in Morgantown and Quarryville. I think there's a third one. But anyway, we go to the discount grocery stores. But I'll tell you this. I know certain products, like let's say a box of Cheerios. This is the normal price. This is what my normal sale price is. And then I go to the discount store and go, it's 2 cents cheaper and it expires in a day or two from now. No. Know your prices. A discount is only as good as the discount is. So if you're getting 2 cents off or 5 cents off on a box of something that's either expired or about to expire in the next day or two, when you can pay 5 cents more in the grocery store and then not expire for 3 months, the 5 cents was worth it. So just know your prices. Don't assume because it says discount that it is a discount. That's not always the case. Make your own. Make homemade. Yeah, homemade food. Absolutely. Somebody posted on one of my comments, I forget who it was, and she said, she likes to make everything from scratch, and so she doesn't really get like pancake mix and all that kind of stuff. Like you can make homemade rice-a-roni, you can make homemade pancake mix, and I totally agree with you. I would do more if I could. And that was the comment I left back. I love making things from scratch just so I can say I made it from scratch. Not to brag to anybody else, for myself. I like doing things homemade and from scratch. I'm fascinated with the fact that I can make graham crackers homemade from scratch. I can make crackers. I can whatever. That's why I like to can. I like to can my own things in the jars with the canning lid and the whole 9 yards. I think it's great. And but making things from scratch can be hard. I work full time outside the home. And I have, as many of you know, I have my husband on disability and my youngest son has special needs. So my days are full when I come home just with normal life. And then I help take care, I don't want to say help take care of my mom. My mom is more than capable of taking care of herself. But, my mom is a little older, so we want to make sure we're investing in her life and how can we help her and come alongside of her when she needs it. So just that and life, we live life. I don't just work. I want to live life. So making things from scratch is not always easy. I do try and make certain things. Yes, you can make homemade and freeze it and this. And I just don't have the time to always do that. But when you can do homemade, do homemade. It's cheaper. Soup. At the end of the week, if you want to be frugal, which is something I have done for years and years and years and years and years. Sunday night was homemade soup night. You got a pot of, you can do water with bouillon cubes from the Dollar Tree. You can get, chicken stock, whatever. And anything in the refrigerator, a little gravy. Maybe I opened a can of soup and I had a little bit of that left over. That went in there, whatever, vegetables, you name it, it went into the pot. And my mother-in-law taught me to take a bone and to make homemade bone broth. And I would do that as much as possible. You can mix and match your meats. You can have chicken with beef and this and that. Nobody has to know anything. I find it, for me, we don't like big chunks of stuff. So I would grind it up and make it pretty small chunks. And if it's kind of limpy, we call it limpy, you know, there's nothing to it. We would just kind of add maybe potato flakes to it and thicken it up. Or you can make a roux and you can add that. You can add cheese to it. And listen, worst case scenario, add a can of cream of mushroom soup, can of cream of chicken soup, a can of cream of celery soup, just to kind of bring the flavors together, tie it all together. Put some rolls on, get some plain toast, get some crackers. You got a pot of soup. How frugal is that? You've made a nice, wholesome meal. You've used up all your bits and bobs in your refrigerator, and you've made something from scratch. So when you can go and do something from scratch, most times, not always, most times it really pays because it's a lot cheaper. It's definitely cheaper than eating out. Not necessarily always cheaper than buying. Sometimes buying it pre-made is cheaper. It's convenient, it's cheaper, it saves money and time. So make your choice. These are just a few frugal, everyday tips from everyday life here at the Wilson household, and I hope you enjoyed them. Leave your tips below of some of the things that you do to save money on food. Thanks so much for coming over. Thank you so much, Barbara. We'll catch you all in the next video.